Welcome to the Insert Title Here podcast, where much like Space Jam 2, it's a bunch of content creators jerking off for the things they own for an hour and a half. I'm Devin Vavio.
I am Technical Cake Mix Adam. I thought Xander was going to go, so I was being polite there.
And I am Satohara, otherwise known as Satohara, from the nation of Satohara. Brought to you by Satohara.
He makes music. Go stream Scarlet Skylines now on Apple Music, Amazon Music, Spotify. It's on YouTube as well, right?
Just chilling in the beginning.
YouTube, title,
Cool.
Okay, so this episode's now called The Shilling Hour.
The Shilling Hour. Anyway, so...
You started off with a shilling joke, Devin. I had to somewhere.
I did. No, I didn't really start with a shilling
Jerking off
joke.
about the Ips.
I was just, jerking about our IPs, but, I mean, do we really own any IPs?
Yeah,
Xander does.
Right here.
This has been Insert Title Here podcast.
The shortest episode of any podcast ever, except maybe the Piss podcast.
There we go.
I own the rights to a couple of like stupid little things, like all the artwork for the YouTube channel. I own the rights to do whatever the hell I want with that. And I own the rights to a couple of other like random little things like that, but nothing major.
I don't own any rights to anything.
Oh, I own the rights to this fucking podcast theme song.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Obviously, he does because he's shitload of copyrighted material.
Yeah.
If you want a full version of that theme song, get us to 1,000 subscribers.
Hey. I'll make it too.
And if you want to show the Hedgehog review, get me to 1,000 subscribers.
This episode is really called The Shilling Hour.
Yes, it is now.
And if you want me to do anything ever, get me to 1,000 subscribers.
I'm so glad I'm not fucking building a goddamn Game Boy in this episode. That was the fucking most difficult fucking thing I've ever done.
Yeah, you were sober for most of that too. It sounds like a nightmare.
I got super fucking high at the beginning of it, and then like halfway through building the Game Boy, I'm dead sober, and then I'm just stressing, and I don't stop for it, and it's just like that. It was just a nightmare on a nightmare on a nightmare. You guys got to see Sober Satohara
We did.
for the first and last time.
Like, I've watched you build Game Boys before, and that just looked like the build from hell.
Yeah.
Like, everything that could have gone wrong went wrong.
But
Go ahead.
oh no, go ahead. You go on. I was gonna change subject to something else because I know what I want to talk about now.
But fucking the issue with the Game Boy I was having were it was a couple of my fault, and there was a couple of things that I didn't think about. So first off was definitely the cable management thing on that. When I wired the cables the first time, I just slapped them on. I didn't even fucking bother to remember how I laid them out. And you gotta like have them come around the board instead of like lay where you think they would normally lay it, because otherwise they're going to cause like I was having the issue where I couldn't get the motherboard in initially. They were in the way and they couldn't latch in there because they were in the grooves and stuff. And so you're like having the grooves pinch on the thing. So once I fixed that should have been fine, right? Well, my dumb ass kept trying to put the goddamn thermal separator on the fucking chipset side of the fucking ribbon cable instead of between the fucking screen and the ribbon cable. When the fun fact for viewers at home. The ribbon cable / motherboards on your IPS fucking mods for your Game Boys and shit, if they touch the metal on the back of the screen, they short. And if they include a layer of film or a layer of foam, you put it between the board and the screen, not above the goddamn ribbon cable and the motherboard of the GPA. The ribbon cable and the motherboard of the GPA aren't gonna fucking touch.
You should know this. Metal plus electric equals bad.
Yeah, not only should I know this, I've made a point of this on every single other Game Boy I streamed where I talked about this already. And then I didn't make this mistake on any of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 other Game Boys I built before this.
How did you... I think you've also had a pretty rough week putting things together, because I realized I got a message from Xander at like 4 a.m. after I went to bed. He replaced the power supply in his computer recently, and it's, hey, if you're all still awake, I got a quick PSU question. I wake up in the morning. This idiot like cut his hand open replacing his power supply.
Even I didn't do that bad.
So, fucking quick recap of the power supply situation. So, a couple weeks ago, I accidentally unplugged my fucking entire power strip from the wall because I'm an idiot. And fucking my computer wouldn't turn back on for a little bit, and I was freaking the fuck out. I'm like, I am going to commit thing I can't say because we will be de-algorithmed on YouTube. And then once I go to world and realm I can't say because it will insinuate what act I did and get us once again removed from the algorithm.
Is Ronald Reagan
I
there?
will then challenge the leader of that realm and become the king of that realm, and then find Ronald Reagan and shove a pineapple up his ass.
That should give it
But
away.
then it ended up turning back on, and I found out my power supply unit in this $1 PC that I got on accident for $1 because of a website glitch, and I literally have it for $1
For the
now
record,
somehow.
it's a HP Omen.
Yeah, it's HP Omen Obelisk. The power supply unit, and there's a 500-watt bronze. It's running a 1650 that doesn't have a a pin connector on it that's taking all the power from the board from the PCIe slot with a fucking Ryzen 5 30 whatever on it. I don't remember
He
exactly
had a
whichever it is.
3500X, and I fucking so it's just
No,
more
I don't have a 3700X.
3500X. What
I don't have the X version. I just have the normal version of it.
fair. I kind of say I fucking hate that pre-builders do this where they give the wimpiest power supplies they can. Are they really even saving a buck?
No.
'Cause I feel
don't
like
think
they're
so.
not. I feel like they're not.
Yeah. So fast forward a couple weeks, I finally have enough spare money where I'm like, all right, I'm gonna upgrade this power supply because I can't upgrade any like the GPU components or any of that shit without a better power supply to begin with, and it's a bronze, and that makes me very uncomfortable that my workstation rig it has a bronze goddamn rated power supply. In it.
I helped him
So I
pick out a
upgrade to the-
lovely Seasonic, so Seasonic Focus 850 watt plus semi-modular because I don't want to deal with him trying to work out what cable he did and did not need. So I want to make sure his 24 is literally hardwired in, does no fucking around with it.
Well, I had to watch a video for it even if it was semi-modular, so it didn't fucking matter.
Well, I figured you could probably work it out from that. You got some common sense.
Yeah. So like
You're not a complete idiot.
So like that thing comes in the morning, and then later that night the power
Oh, shit.
supply in the fucking computer
Fuck
dies
yourself over.
mid fucking whatever the fuck I'm doing. It just dies. It just fucking is dead. It's gone. It blew the fuck up, and my computer turns off. I'm like,
Wait,
what?
was that
and I can't
when-
get the power supply to work.
Was that when we were all in Discord and my wife was talking about the Rodents with you and just poofed?
Yeah, like whatever the
That's
fuck
what
happened
happened.
there.
Okay.
My power supply just fucking poofed on
Mate,
me.
I would check the components, by the way.
What was that?
I would say check your components, put everything in a stress test because power supplies, when they die, have a nice, lovely, wonderful habit of taking other things with them.
Right.
If you get any weird behavior like blue screening randomly, RAM timing suddenly don't make sense, start checking your parts over and over because
Did
I
you
was
know
getting blue
computers-
screening, but I'll get to that in a sec. I was getting blue screening, but I'll get to that in just a sec. So the thing fucking dies on me in the middle of a Discord call, and in the middle of uploading the last fucking episode of the podcast that's already late. Somehow the fucking podcast episode's still uploaded.
Amazing.
And it looks fine. I don't see a single error with it. It plays the whole way through.
It probably uploaded. It's probably stuck in processing hell.
Yeah, hope whatever the fuck happened, I praise whatever YouTube bullshit that managed to get all of that shit before the power
Kyle
supply died.
Susan.
I'll be honest, my wife thought you were mad at her because you didn't say anything after she was talking about the Rodents with you, like her opinion on it, and you just vanished. I was just like, it got real quiet in the chat, and I'm scared now. I was like, oh no.
Meanwhile, the entire time I'm like, fuck. How do I plug this in? I can't play Phantasy Star if this isn't fucking in the computer. Because the entire time I'm uploading and editing this fucking episode of the goddamn fucking thing, I can't play Phantasy Star because the thing I'm editing on is the fucking thing I play Phantasy Star on. So I'm going through fucking withdrawals in my game, and the entire time I'm trying to replace this PSU, I'm just thinking of PSO. That's the only PS I want to fucking think about. I'm like, if I can't get this in there, and so I'm trying to read these like HP fucking instructions on how to like open up the
PS5?
thing. I'm not thinking about that PS either, Devin.
Oh, okay.
There's no PSO on PS5. If PSO shows up on PS5, then I'll be thinking about PS5. But until PSO's on PS5, that ain't the PS I'm thinking of.
I love my PS5.
God, you are
glad you
such a
love me.
fucking beta bitch, Devin.
Suck
Yeah.
my nuts.
But fucking like, so like I'm trying to fucking read these instructions, and it's just showing me screenshots of what it seems to be a cell phone taking a picture of a YouTube video.
Yeah, that's
so
about
none
right.
of it's clear. And it has very short sentences, and I don't understand what the fuck going on. Oh, wow, my earbud just collapsed in my ear, and now it's stuck in my ear.
This is like fun.
You know, if I feel kind of bad because I'd gone to bed a bit earlier that night. To be fair, I'm not normally up at 4 in the goddamn morning, but if I was, I would have helped Xander through it because I helped Devin.
Yeah.
If Devin with zero technical experience was able to reboot his computer doing his upgrade.
I have some technical experience.
Yeah, so like I'm freaking the fuck out. I find this one like smaller YouTuber that has the exact obelisk I have that's like breaking down how to like do all this stuff, right? And so he starts like He's doing other stuff besides just replacing the power supply. He's also changing out a fan and stuff, so he's going a bit more detailed into it. So he starts like messing with his graphics card, and I'm just like, oh, cool. And I'm like, awesome. Now I know more about my graphics card. Whatever. We'll come back to that graphics card. Fucking, but it's not detailed enough because he has this bar here that he's placed in for his AIO thing. That he's connected the other thing to that he's taken apart. So I'm like, all right, this is a little bit too much configuration for me. I make Game Boys. I don't work on computers, man. So then I finally find the official fucking HP video for the exact goddamn model, and I come to find out that all the weird screenshots they're showing me are from this very high quality and detailed video. So I finally figure out how to take off the side panel, the access panel, how to remove all this shit, where all my cables are. I get the fucking power supply almost out. Next, finally, is the 24-pin power fucking pin
yes.
here. So I clamp that and I grab it, and I've almost got it. It's coming up. I'm being nice and gentle with it, not hard, because Adam's like, you make love to it, don't fuck it, because you'll ruin the thing.
Yep.
And it's almost out. My hand slips, my finger comes up, and I fucking just cut my hand on the goddamn graphics card. It slices so deep that I start bleeding on the graphics card, and then there's so much blood on the graphics card that I now have to take the graphics card out of the fucking motherboard and fucking clean it off with isopropyl alcohol because there's so much fucking blood on it. And then I'm able to get the fucking pin off.
He had to take the sheath and the cooler off. He had to circumcise his graphics card temporarily in order to But for the record, with 24 pins, they're all like that. My usual phrase for electronics, as Xander touched on there, is make love to it, don't fuck it. Asterisk. Unless it's a fucking 24-pin connector, then as far as I'm concerned, ram that thing raw because it's a bad girl and it deserves it.
And I'm like, I'm not worried about damaging the cable because this power supply is already fucked. So I'm not worried about that. I just don't want to like ruin the board.
So the motherboard's more the issue. It's a cheapy motherboard. I have seen some where they pull it out and it takes the whole port out.
It's not even the best Moira. It's not even the most recent Moira motherboard.
Wait, is it not HP's own proprietary bullshit? Because I've seen when I've seen a name and they always use their own bullshit.
So the Moira is a proprietary HP Moira 2. Yeah.
Oh, you poor bastard.
Yeah. So like, it's not the worst motherboard I've ever seen. But I also discovered there's an RGB fucking controller in there that's completely plugged into a SATA power cable and all this shit. But I don't have any RGB in the case, so it's just fucking plugged in for no reason and just sitting there. So I took that out too.
So that's there because certain models will have like RGB fans and they'll leave it in there for everyone gets it. It's technically onto I think it's part of the motherboard or whatever. You just pop it that way.
It's a side chip.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not even on the motherboard. It's a side chip.
Is it like a fan controller? Because I've seen some like that where they leave them in, where you plug all the fans in, but then you get to plug your system fan into one port on the board instead of taking up 6. Yeah,
there are certain HP Obelisk models that have like the RGB and stuff in it, which I specifically avoid because epilepsy, and I don't even want to give my my dumbass the options of doing it because knowing me and my allergy to pineapple and it still being my favorite fruit, I will probably activate the RGB on it knowing full well I'm not giving a fuck. So we just avoid all those options. And so, but they leave the controller in there, and I guess, it gives us an option ship, but it's plugged in to the power supply the whole time, too. So I'm like, what the fuck?
Yes.
So that's out. That's done. I cut myself a few more times on the back panel, just trying to fucking, like, get the cables and shit in there. But once I get that figured out, it's pretty much smooth sailing from there. I get the 850-watt Gold Plus in there, and the computer blue screens. And I'm like, God fucking damn it, why? And it's like this R2 TSK. It's like a Realtek audio driver that's failing to fucking boot. That's the error it's giving me. So then I unplug my Xbox 360 controller and I stop blue screening.
What?
When I turn on Windows 10, the Realtek Audio Manager fails to launch when the Xbox 360 controller is plugged in. But I can plug in the Xbox 360 controller after boot and it's fine.
To be fair with you, just take that Realtek controller bullshit and just take it out back and shoot it in the fucking head. It's always more trouble than it's worth.
I don't really need it since I use fucking the UMC drivers for my audio interface, do I?
No, you don't. You just take it out back and shoot it in the fucking head.
Yeah.
Like every computer I've had that's had them on there, you just oh god, they're always causing problems.
So now that existential nightmare is over,
I got to wait 50 minutes.
I did want to ask you about something, Xander. So we sent out packages, and Adam already got his. Did you get your package from me and my wife? But yeah, so we sent out the package for your birthday with your figurine in it, and the Game Boy Micro,
Do
as
you want to
well.
touch on what that figurine is?
No, there's two figurines. He's got one figurine, which is Makoto Nania from Blaze Blue, and that's his favorite character from Blaze Blue.
And I would like to add just very quickly that not only is it the Makedonania, but it's the statue that came out the year me and Devin first became friends, first started playing Blaze Blue together, and it's the one where the fucking clothes come off and the titties pop out.
That's a squirrel with the huge knockers.
Yeah, I love
Yes.
squirrel bitches.
Isn't it? You fucking degenerate. Continue.
So that's one of the figurines he has. We also sent him a Game Boy Micro to complete his Game Boy collection. So now he has all the different kinds of Game
I
Boys.
think I just need a DMG
Yes.
and a Game Boy Light. But I don't think I'm ever
yeah.
gonna get a Game Boy Light.
Game Boy Light's gonna be impossible.
Not with
to
that
get.
attitude, bud. Keep
But-
trying. You never know.
The other thing we sent him was a another figurine. Well, aside from the snacks we sent him, but we sent him another figurine. And okay, so here's a little bit of backstory. My wife, who I've talked about many times on the podcast, is a Hispanic woman, full-blood Hispanic woman, and she's lived in the Valley for a while, which is South Texas. Very, not even a brisk walk from the border of U.S. Mexico. And as such, there are a lot of bootleg toys around there because Hispanic people just do not give a flying fuck about copyright. And you get the weirdest shit. Like I've seen some stuff in the Valley. Like I've seen like a Autobot logo on a collision repair place. I have seen. What was it? Aviva Pinata, like spelling on a pinata store. I've seen a really bad Lightning McQueen pinata. But what we've sent Xander was a Dragon Ball Z figurine. And it's of a very specific character. And it was of Broly. However, this statue of Broly is a Super Saiyan 3 Broly statue. And not only that, it's signed by Broly's voice actor, and it's not Johnny Young Bosch. It's Vic Mignogna.
It is cursed beyond belief.
It is so incredibly cursed.
And I don't think, for legal reasons, I can refer to it as I actually refer to it.
Yeah, for legal reasons we shouldn't.
Yeah, because that has not been proven in a court of law. However, I am very excited to use it as a prop.
Yes, I cannot wait.
For the record, for the curtain twitchers who might be listening, it's not that it's an inappropriate name. It's just that for legal reasons,
Yeah.
it might get down in a little bit of trouble.
Let's just say it's named after an 80s alien flick.
Yeah, starring
And
Arnold
there we
Schwarzenegger.
go.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
How did I just
and
fucking
Carl
forget Arnold
Weathers.
Schwarzenegger's name?
How did I remember Carl Weathers?
Carl Weathers is always memorable.
Good
Fun
point.
fact, on the early age of that film, the alien was not like this weird mandible horror. It was actually played by Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Lobster.
It looked closer to like a red ant type thing.
Really?
You can actually look up original pictures of it. They had to change halfway through. Apparently, production of that film was an absolute nightmare.
That sounds about right. So that's what I sent Xander. What I sent Adam.
Hey, dude, I've got so many boo-boo loo-boos. I don't care what the fuck you sent me.
So we sent him a bunch of snacks, Mexican snacks and stuff like that. We sent his wife a really nice teacup. It says, when
been
you drink
poisoned.
it says you've been poisoned.
You're
On the cup it says die already, or
Ready?
on the plate it says die already.
It's fantastic.
And it's like totally her aesthetic. But I sent Adam Soul Calibur Legends for the Wii. And
In this escalating war of bad games we've got going on.
yeah, I don't know what he sent me yet. I genuinely have no idea.
His wife knows, and I know she's looking forward
Yeah,
to
she
it.
has sworn herself to secrecy, so I have no clue what he sent me. But like, I really responded to Sonic Shuffle with a nuke. So
Yeah, with Bubsy 3D.
With Bubsy 3D. So I'm an American. I only respond in escalation. You know that.
So,
but-
for the record, what I have sent is it's equivalent to about 3 nukes and a hydrogen bomb.
How could it be that much worse than fucking?
You'll see. You'll see.
Like, I already own Ringu. What could be worse than Bubsy 3D?
Viewers at home can't see the video portion of this. I'm not saying anything. I'm just grinning ear to ear.
Does
Because
Xander know?
Xander knows. And he's like, Adam is not underestimating this. Adam is really not
What could
underestimating
possibly
this.
be worse?
I
than
literally
Sonic,
cannot
like,
say a single
other than
word about
Sonic?
the thing headed towards you because any word I want to say right now is immediately a reference to it and will give it away. So I'm remaining off the topic. Fuck, marry, kill. Me. A buff version of me. Girl me. Go.
Okay, so marry girl version of you should be very good company. I would fuck regular version and kill buff version because I'm into buff women but not buff dudes.
I love you. Used to save my life.
Actually, same.
Okay. I honestly expected Devin to be like,
No, wait, no, hold on. No, I would still kill buff you, but I'd marry regular you because it's just like we live together. We're already basically married. And I'd fuck girl you because that's just like I want to know how that hits.
all right, I get to fuck girl me too, though. We'll run a train on girl me.
That was
the weirdest thing I've ever
Run a
said.
train on girl you.
I'm marrying girl you. Can I wait to do it before we're married?
Oh yeah, we'll run a train on me, and then you can marry me.
Like the slut
Okay.
he is. Sorry.
Cut that out. Cut that out. Cut
No,
that
that's
out.
staying in. All of this is staying
Oh
in.
my god. Good fucking grief. The views of Devon Wavio and Sato Hara do not reflect the views of Insert Title Here podcast.
I think if David Draymond was real,
Yeah.
he'd be my friend.
no, because
David
Draymond's not
Draymond is real.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
He's like the metal version of like the metal
Santa
version
Claus?
of fucking no, not Santa Claus. What's the goddamn?
Krampus?
That's the one. What's the German one who like kills kids? Like,
He's the metal version of the Krampus.
he's basically the metal version of Krampus because he just
Well, who's-
pops up and just kind of ruins everything.
So is the metal version of Santa Claus like
He
what?
didn't
Dio?
used to ruin everything.
No.
He used to pop up
No, the-
and perform in Dragon Ball Z, and Goku would go Super Saiyan, and he would be the power-up music. He'd be like,
so did Deftones.
fucking Goku would be like, I can't beat you, Frisbee! And David would be like, Goku, you have my help. And then he would be just good, you know? But now it's like,
So, for the record, the heavy metal version of Santa Claus is not Dio. It's definitely not Ozzy Osbourne, and it's certainly not James Hetfield.
Ooh.
The heavy metal version of Santa Claus, as we all should know by now, from his charitable nature, from his wonderful work, and of course from the fact that he's also told a fair few people who deserve it to fuck right off, is Corey Taylor.
okay, you know what? I can actually go with that. I can live with that. Corey Taylor is,
Yeah.
I'm not about to suck Corey Taylor off live on Insert Title Here.
Yes, you are.
I'm not about to just unzip his fucking pants and just fucking throat his meaty fucking 5-octave range fucking chode and just fucking guzzle all the cum down my throat and just enjoy every fucking last salty fucking bit of cum that just fucking pumps my stomach full and then just spread my goddamn ass cheeks open, just whine and be like, go ahead, man. Like, fucking, nah, I'm not gonna do any of that. Instead, I'm going to say, yeah, he's probably good like that. I don't know.
I mean, damn. Okay. I was gonna make a joke after that, but like I got nothing. I'm like, wow.
I have
For the
nothing
record,
either. I
on
don't know how to
the
respond to that.
off chance that the algorithm shows Corey Taylor this, please note I don't actually want to have sex with you. That's all just a joke. That's a parody. That's a satire. That's a
What if you've hurt his feelings now?
no.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, look, Corey Taylor will get over it. He'll do some
I
more
feel like
charity
Corey
work,
Taylor
like-
probably doesn't appreciate people coming onto him randomly who don't know him, and I have to clarify that's a joke, you know? And I feel like he would like appreciate the respect that I'm showing one of the greatest fucking singers of all time.
Besides, he just do some more charity work. He just phone up Doug Walker and be like, "Hey, do you want to do the wall too?"
Yeah.
And then Doug Walker just goes. Doug Walker just goes.
No, Doug goes, oh, The Wall too? No, how about we do Dark Side of the Moon? The most overrated album of all time. Why does Doug sound like Ben Shapiro in my voice?
Because they kind of sound the same.
You know, actually, that's the voice you do when you mock anyone, because that's kind of almost the same voice you do when you're making fun of Conan
Oh
O'Brien.
yeah,
that one
Conan,
time.
but Conan's a little bit more Irish and a little bit more nasally.
You also do something like this in this area.
That's William Murderface.
That's Murderface.
No, but he was going. I remember when you made fun of Conan O'Brien. It's like, I'm Conan O'Brien.
O'Brien. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
was a long
stand
time
the
ago.
Lord and Savior Conan O'Brien. May he ever rest in vigilance, not peace, but vigilance. May he ever be awake. May he ever live.
I'm not into late night television, so I have no
Conan
opinion.
O'Brien
I
is
used to watch
more than
Graham
late
Norton when I
night
was a kid,
television,
but-
Adam. He is a comedian, an artiste, a purveyor of mediums. He crosses over borders and lines, and he makes us all realize that nations are fake and everyone is a part of the same nation, Earth, otherwise known as the Holy Nation of Hideo Kojima. Death Stranding Director's Cut, out soon.
Oh no. He
How
just
they,
went
how are they
straight
doing it
into
on
that.
PC, by the way? Is there like a DLC patch for that? Because I know the PS4/5, it's just you fucking put it in PS5 and director's cut.
Yeah, it's like $10 or some stuff on PS5.
Something like that, yeah.
I'm not sure. But yeah, I don't know, man. I love that game. Oh, fuck. We had mentioned Death Stranding last time. Stop mentioning Death Stranding. No! Death Stranding's good!
Yeah.
Stop mentioning Death Stranding, Xander. Death Stranding, it might be a good game, but it's not for everybody. I have to preach the holy word of Hideo Kojima to every single fucking nerd and plebeian around me. Oh, I can't breathe!
Xander.
Hey Adam,
Xander,
you want to do the
calm down.
PS3 rant this episode?
You, PS3 rant. PS3 rant.
PS3 rant. PS3
Explain
rant.
why we
PS3
need to
rant.
move on from the PS3 so that we can release Hideo Kojima's masterpiece. The masterpiece is in quote because I kind of don't like this game in hindsight of the other games. Metal Gear Solid 4. It's still a great game, but it has a lot of issues. Continue.
I am making very low noises. That Discord is having a trouble.
Don't
picking
worry, I see them on your recording, and I will turn you up during this recording.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Tell us about the PS3.
you really want the fucking PS3 rant?
Yeah.
We're only 28 minutes into this recording. Give me the PS3 rant, bozo.
Give it to us, Daddy.
I have to use the PlayStation 3 semi-regularly for my show whenever I record a PlayStation 1 or 2 game. Because I chose to invest in one of the very hard to find now back-compatible PlayStation 3s. That bitch is 15 years old now, and it acts like it's nearly 30. I have hardware older than that thing, and it sounds a shitload better. But let's ignore the fact that I got 15-year-old hardware that I bought print. Let's ignore that fact, and let's look at the PlayStation 3 as a goddamn system. Let's look at it through its goddamn lifespan. You may ask, Adam, why don't you use the PS3 more? I have a very small library for it. I think I only own like 3 or 4 games for it, and they're all exclusives. Why don't you buy certain multiplats on that? The online multiplayer is free. I'll tell you goddamn why. I'll tell you why I either buy them on PC, or I'd rather just buy them on Xbox. When designing the PlayStation 3, some chuckle fuck at Sony, instead of looking and reading the room at the time, which was, PC gaming is kind of starting to really get going here, Microsoft went, you know what, let's base our architecture off of Windows XP and let's go that route. Worked out great for them. Nintendo went, you know what, we're just going to do what we did in the last gen, but literally just double the available cache on the chip and double the RAM. Basically, we're going to take 2 GameCube motherboards and just go smush. Worked out great for them. Sony said, you know what we need? We need to be the first people to land on the moon. The problem was they didn't realize the first time like any mission to the moon happened, Sputnik didn't fucking come back! So they put inside of their fucking thing a cell processor. A very awkward, very specific type of chip, not designed for 3D graphics, not even designed for video games in general. The cell processor was made for fucking number crunching! It was made for goddamn banking, investment, and stock trading. It was not made for this shit. And they're like, oh well, it's got 8 cores. You know what else has 8 cores? The original FX Bulldozer from AMD. And that went down as one of the biggest pieces of shit in computing history. And then they have the fucking gall to go, we also need to be the first man on the moon in this technology. Let's stick a Blu-ray drive in this thing, despite the fact that Blu-ray drives won't be affordable for the average consumer for 5 goddamn years. But to mass produce it, the only way we can get in there is to get an incredibly slow Blu-ray drive on there. So how do you counter having a very slow Blu-ray drive that can't keep up with the read and write speed you need to play games at? I know, we'll install shitloads of information on the fucking hard drive. So you end up with games taking up most of the fucking hard drive space on your 60 gigabyte system off the fucking bat. And I'm just like, so the games don't play as well as they do on 360 because of this stupid cell processor. I had to get a mandatory install to fucking play anything because you had to put a Blu-ray drive in there. Despite the fact you could have probably skipped the gen and just done DVD from the gen, it would have been fine. It would have been fine. Sure, like the 360, by the end of it, with a lot of games that had 2 discs or had like an install disc, it didn't fucking matter. No one cared. No one cared about having to switch discs out. Fuck. And then they commit the carnal fucking sin, because Sony are a bunch of cunts when it comes to user rights. They decided, you know what? We need to worry about protecting our IPs from being recorded. He's vibing in this article because he loves this reference. We need to protect the rights of our IPs hardcore. We need to make sure that people can't record their fucking game footage because they might also be able to record movie footage. So what they did was they implemented something called High Definition Copyright Protection, HDCP. This also exists on other platforms, but I'll get to that in a minute. HDCP is a nasty bugger because you can't use something like, I don't know, a capture card on HDMI with it without some kind of external third-party device in between the capture card and you to remove that signal so you can fucking record. The issue as well is that when you're playing video games, it adds about an extra 5 to 10 milliseconds of input delay. This is why fighting games are unfucking playable on PlayStation 3. This is why EVO, CEO, all the big fighting game tournaments for the last 10 fucking years prior to the PlayStation 4 were all using Xbox 360. It wasn't because the 360 was $100 fucking cheaper, which we'll get on that in a minute. It was because they didn't have this bullshit. So the 360 did also have HDCP, but Microsoft did it smart. It only turned on the operating system when it sensed that the user had put in a DVD or it had loaded up a streaming app like Netflix, Hulu, whatever the fuck have you. Sony went full pants on head moron and just completely went, let's just leave it on all the time. What the fuck? Who? I just want to know who. I want to talk. I just want to talk. And it comes to PS4. Instead of just doing the right fucking thing, like turning off and on, like the 360 does, like the One does, like the new Series X does. No, you gotta manually toggle that shit off and goddamn on. It's so stupid. Just do it properly. Oh. And then you got fucking cell processor in this goddamn thing as a habit of breaking down, and these stupid ass fanboys are still going on that cell processor like it's the goddamn second coming of Jesus, and they go, you know what, no developer ever really tapped into the full potential cell processor. Theoretically, it could do more number crunching than the PlayStation 4. Shut the fuck up, you goddamn idiots. No, it was an 8-core joke with a fucking, what's the clock speed of it? Like, I think it was like 1.2 megahertz. Don't quote me on that, Google it. Like, it was just so fucking stupid they even used it, because it was not designed for this. Like, the modern equivalent now would be going out and being like, I'm gonna build me a gaming PC. Let me go buy a Xeon W for $2,000. No, that's meant to be hosting websites, you stupid ass. Fucking hell.
Oh,
and don't get me started on the noise this thing makes. This thing is 15 years old. I turn it on. I've cleaned the fans out so many times. I've clanged the fans out so many times. I've taken it apart, and it sounds like a jet engine having a goddamn asthma attack. It's just, oh my god, I hate this guy. Oh, and cross media bar. Yeah, gee, who wants to make the most unusable goddamn user interface of all time? The guys at Sony, apparently, because they bring in cross media bar where nothing makes sense. Everything's hidden menus within menus. And everything looks visually like I'm just gonna fucking. Why does he got a guitar?
Where'd the guitar come from?
And they put a shot on the PSP as well. Like Sony, look, you make great games, okay? You make some pretty solid games. When it comes to console architecture, when it comes to that shit, there's a reason why they let AMD do the PlayStation 4. There's a reason why the fucking PlayStation 4 is using fucking AM4 and a Jaguar processor. Because I think somebody went, just stop. Just please, fucking, no, just stop. Like, Jesus, titty fucking Christ on a bike with tassels. Really fucking hate using the PS3.
I could tell. Amazing. Amazing. You know what? That was worth the wait. That was worth the wait.
Jesus fucking. How long was that? Like 10 minutes?
You really just tore the PS3 apart.
Jesus fucking Christ. Oh yeah, and of course the like 5 exclusives that are actually worth goddamn playing on it are now all on PS4.
Except?
Yeah.
Maybe with the exception like Metal Gear Solid 4, but I give it like 6 weeks for Konami goes, actually we like money, well let's put it on PC or something.
Editor's note. Compose an entire song for that entire ramp.
To the tune of just...
That's what that guitar was brought out for. That was the main riff that was recorded. So that way I have the reference for it.
Jeez. Jesus
When I was jamming
Christ,
out that whole time, I was just like thinking of, like, all right, yeah, so this is going to go here. It started with I was hearing Down with the Sickness in my head. I was going to originally edit that in as a joke, but then I was like, we get copyright claim for that. So then now it's a whole song.
But like, geez, Xander's heard this rant a couple of times before about various little things, and he just loves it. Because the annoying part about this rant is I can go on this rant to like some of the most hardcore people who defend the PS3, and they go, "Yeah, valid," because everything I've said is correct.
It is. I mean, like, okay, I own a second generation PS3, and I love the little thing. But I'll be honest, once I got a PS4, I kind of stopped using it, and
Like,
once I
the
got
only-
a PS5. I haven't touched the PS4 in a while either.
Well, because it's back compatible, so like you
Well,
may as well
yeah.
just throw
Fuck,
shit. in
marry,
there.
kill.
But you know what?
PS3. Vision 2 top loader. PS3. Go.
There's
Is
a
that top loader
PS4. You mean PS3?
That's what. Yeah, I meant to say PS3.
Okay. Mary.
I'm gonna redub every instance
hate
of
all of them.
PS4 I just said with PS3.
I kind of hate all of them, honestly. Like I have the fat one, but like
Would you? Okay, so it'd be hate, fuck, marry, quickly divorce, and then
Yeah, marry for
kill.
the money. Because they're Sony royalty.
See, I guess I'd marry for the money the fat one because it's back compatible,
Yeah.
and like there's royalties.
you could even
there.
learn to
I,
love living
fucking,
with them.
I would.
I fucking hate the top loader one because used to work at a couple of different retro game stores. One of the most common consoles in for repair was that motherfucker because guess the fuck what? They put a cheap spring in the fucking top loader. I guess I'd fuck the Revision 2, the slimline
Yeah.
one.
Oh,
It looks
so you
alright,
got a
it's just a big
problem
one to
with
play.
thicker? You got a problem with
He's
thicker
marrying
consoles,
the thicker
Adam?
console.
No, I'm marrying the fat bitch, you stupid twat.
But you want to fuck a slim one? All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Spend
look,
his life
I'd
with
fuck
it.
the slim one because it's... Look, we've been over this. My taste in women is... Daddy likes them muscular
Please
and
don't call
toned,
yourself daddy.
or
I'll have to edit
he
this
likes...
whole thing out.
Look, Adam
There we
likes
go.
them muscular and toned, or he likes them soft.
I'm gonna kill
You
myself.
can't see the hand motion I'm making. Soft. No in between. Muscular or soft. Soft. Soft as king. So, like, yeah, the wide flat one is kind of toned, I guess. I don't know, I just fucking...
Yeah, I like the design of the slim line. It's kind of nice, I guess. I don't like it. It was my first PS3, and it sucks because it doesn't have PS2 backwards compatibility, and I would only ever marry
Yeah.
a PlayStation 2 that has an emotion engine in it. And an actual emotion engine. An actual emotion engine. There is no love in this marriage
not
without
even-
the emotion engine, baby.
Apparently, it's not even the full version because, like, someone explained to me my issues. I had to clarify in the Bubsy video that, like, no, I wasn't emulating Alien Resurrection for my Halloween special a while ago. That the Doors I was having wasn't because of emulation. And I got in the comments, someone said, okay, so you are right. It is using PS2 like parts. However, it has to emulate the sound because Sony didn't put the PS2 sound, something like that.
Yeah.
And it was, I'm just like, I'm reading
Well, on
this and
top
just
of
like,
it-
so basically Sony cheaped out on this system
yeah,
that costs
on
money.
top of
on.
it, Sony, what do you
just because it
expect?
has PS2 parts doesn't mean the PS1 stuff isn't emulation. In the PS3, it is emulation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my god,
It's like
fucking...
it's some of the
I-
proprietary ones. So theoretically, it's the best type of emulation, but it has issues with what, like 0.1% of games.
I guess I found the point 1%.
Alien Resurrection is one of those noted ones, and I only looked into it after that comment on your video, actually. Yeah, because I noticed it a while back.
I guess Bubsy might be the other.
Well, Bubsy's always just kind of a mess.
Yeah,
It's
good
hard
point.
to pinpoint where the issue is. in that
Speaking
game.
of, so your Bubsy video, I absolutely agree with you near the end. The sentiment you had there, it's just like someone's always got to win the wooden spoon. Yeah, it's like people shit on it a lot because it's not
It's
great.
bad. Don't get me wrong, it's a bad game.
Yeah, it's a bad game, but like it was like one of the first 3D platformers in this new untamed, gaming culture. So
like,
yeah,
was
it
literally
tried
that.
and failed. It happens.
that- I did get it wrong. There was like one of the 3D platformer at that time. I think it was Glover or something like that. Like,
Oh,
like
God.
It was. But you look at it and just go,
Funny
like somebody had to fuck it up.
Right. Funny story about Glover. So my brother-in-law, I think Xander knows this story, but so my brother-in-law, when he was a kid, my wife started laughing because she heard me talking about it. So my brother-in-law, when he was a kid, for Christmas, he wanted gloves. He wanted a pair of gloves for Christmas, and he told, I don't remember who he told. I'm not sure if he told his mom or somebody, but for Christmas, he told me he wanted a pair of gloves. So come Christmas Day, he opens up his gift and he gets a copy of Glover for the Nintendo 64.
I mean,
and hold on, I'm not done yet. And not only does he get one copy, he gets fucking 2 copies of Glover for the Nintendo 64.
I mean, he's got a
for
pair of gloves.
Christmas. They got a pair of Glovers.
I mean, the good news is
And
that you get a GameStop and trade one of those copies in for many pairs of gloves.
Right, but oh my god, he hates that game now. He hates Glover because of that. I'm like, that's funny. Oh my god.
I've never actually played it.
It's a game on the Nintendo 64, and that's really all I can say about it. It's weird.
I mean, you could say that about the entire N64 library, yes.
Yeah. The best way I can explain Glover is just like, what if you jerked off into a glove and it came to life and started playing with balls?
Ooh, Glover had a
Wasn't
lover
that- wasn't
who
that the-
was also his brother from another dimension, but they're not actually related because they're not from the same dimension. The genetics are different. Glover and his brother Lover
God.
met their mother on another.
Are you done?
Wasn't that the plot to that stupid Netflix show, Big Mouth, where, like, the pillow?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't watch that shit.
Like, the kid was humping his pillow so much he got his pillow pregnant, and it, like, had, like throat cushions.
Editor's note: cut everything about that out.
Yeah, thank you.
I've never watched Big Mouth. Apparently, it's awful.
I've watched 2 episodes of the first
What
season,
is-
and then every single I hate everything review about it. And
Yeah. What is up with like adult animation always looking
so
like
there's
shit?
a couple of reasons. An industry insider talked about it, and yes, they agree that it sucks, and they wish it wasn't like this. However, it's because shows like this have been proven during marketing and all that other shit to constantly sell and hit with general audiences, and that's why they hyper focus on it. And it's all animated in Toon Boom, and Toon Boom uses specialized rigs for these characters, and you are pretty much expected to go in there with no experience and then pick it up on the spot or get fired. So they're under a lot of crunch time. It's all shit. It just sucks.
I mean, everything kind of looks like Family Guy was probably the first one I can think of where they did this, and but it made sense because Family Guy was, it wasn't trying to be highbrow. It was intentionally kind of making fun of itself, and like everyone is just kind of gone, oh, that'll do. And I'm like, but the joke with Family Guy was it like that, and particularly even South Park looked like shit, and that was the whole joke.
South Park
Well,
was
I think-
stylized
the
joke,
good thing
though.
about South Park, yeah, it's stylized like that on purpose, and it also the stylization makes it to where they can make episodes like so quickly and still be relevant to like current events.
and
you know?
Yeah, they're making it in a week.
So
right?
I appreciate the artists behind every single one of these shows, whether I dislike the show and the animation style itself, because I understand that. Yeah. However, if we want to talk about a show that doesn't look like every other adult animated show and is also animated and worked on by a passionate YouTube animator, Yotam Perel, Jellystone just came out and it's fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, I've seen some screenshots and video clips of Jellystone, and I kind of want to watch it because like they had the hippo, the hippo from like I forgot his name, but it's the one that goes, "Did you get that thing I sent you?" And Birdman, he was in like a samurai costume, and he's like, "I will avenge my family for what you've done to us," and then it's like, "Oh great, he made Loa." Like fucking Snagglepuss. Like that was amazing.
It's a great fucking show. It's worked on by an awesome team of passionate fucking animators and artists and writers and shit who just fucking put their heart and soul into it. And it's fucking awesome, and much love to
I might
every
check that
single
out.
fucking one of those motherfuckers.
Do you know what else that hippo is in?
What?
Space Jam 2, starring LeBron James and Bugs Bunny.
Stop. We're not talking about Space Jam 2. There are things on this podcast we agreed we will not talk about, and that is one of the 2 things we agreed we will not talk about on this podcast.
We watched this. Xander rage quit at the notorious PIG. Devin stuck the whole way through it, but whined. Me and his wife were laughing the whole way through at how bad it was. Don't get me wrong. It's a stinker. These 2 had such a violent reaction to it. I think Xander went to bed afterwards and Devin just died on the inside. Thoroughly recommend it. 10 out of 10 for cringe.
Editor's note, cut all of that out.
I woke up
Editor's note, keep that
today. I thought I was gonna be the silly boy on this podcast, the one who caused all the chaos. But Adam
Chaos!
came in and ruined my shit. and fucked with me. So now I gotta insert some sad music because I wanted to insert the Guts theme, but I don't want to get claimed.
I think you can use that without getting claimed.
Yeah,
Actually,
I'm not dealing with that. So we'll just do a piano ditty over that.
oh my god.
Wonderful job.
My
Wonderful job.
God.
I'm giving myself a lot
anyway.
of work this episode for no reason.
You really are. You're really forcing yourself to do a lot of shit.
Kind of like how LeBron did a lot of work for Space Jam 2. Out now on HBO now.
Stop, you son of a bitch. Oh my god. I said before, LeBron's a better actor on the court than he is in that
I
movie.
love LeBron James. I love and respect and appreciate LeBron James and everything he's done. That's the only thing I have to say right now.
All right, well, we're done with that. So, Adam, do you just want to talk about the second thing we said we wouldn't talk about on the podcast? Just get it out there and just get it over with?
No, because that one was funny. The other one's depressing.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway.
Also, to be fair, it was worth it just for Xander's reaction alone, where he just
The
turned his head
violent-
silently to the camera.
the
And then
violent-
he looks off into space, just like, I'm supposed to be the wild, untamed, loose cannonless podcast, and here's this British fucker coming over here, taking my jobs.
Taking my job. the good gerbs.
I used to be.
What's the British idiom for that? They took her gerbs.
They took their jobs.
UK independence.
I can't. Oh, you can't.
Yeah, that's the fucking British version of close our borders.
Look. I'm
Not at all what I
just
meant.
I'm just gonna say this now. You're not supposed to speak ill of people unless they're here to defend themselves. So we don't say nice things and positive things. Nigel Farage is not here to defend himself, so that's
Hang
a
on,
good and
before
positive
you-
thing. Fuck
before
Nigel
you
Farage.
Go on. Saying we're not supposed to be able to say things about people if they're not here to defend themselves implies that Nigel Farage is people.
Yeah.
Fucking reprehensible lizard.
I haven't. Oh God, what is he up to these days?
Are
Anyway,
we just talking about reprehensible, terrible people in government? Because
Uh,
boy, do I got one where I'm from.
We're talking
Yeah.
about it cautiously, you know.
Actually, what is Nigel Farage up to these days? Besides looking like Mr. Toad from Wind in the
I
Willows.
don't know. Fucking British people don't exist.
British people are a myth, just like, Canadians. It's all moose
So what
up
am I?
there.
So
what-
you know in
what am
Final
I
Fantasy
then?
X how fucking Tidus is taken from Xanarkin from Sin?
I don't think he's played 10.
He says 10 sucks.
Have you
Yeah, I
played 10?
10.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you know how
I don't want to spoil
Fucking
you
it.
know-
hate 10.
Spoilers
No,
for
no
10.
good
So you know
WG
how
games.
in Final Fantasy X where Tidus is taken from Xanarkin by Sin and taken to Spira and shit, and he's like, I
Yeah.
swear this place exists and that I live there and I must have been transported through time. I'm an expat and all that shit, you know? Well, it turns out that you're just a dream
Yeah.
from a fucking thing that's inside fucking Sin, and fucking like Britain isn't real, and that like there's this huge fucking monster that comes around and destroys our world constantly in order to keep us from finding the dream Britain that exists somewhere on the isle that you're from, and you somehow escape from there. You're the destined one to bring an end to the United Kingdom. You can make it the separate kingdom.
Well, given the fact that I am an expat and currently working on my United States citizenship, that checks
Oh,
out.
your wife's a summoner.
I mean, yeah. Have
Yeah.
you met her?
Okay,
Have you?
Adam's
seen,
Tidus.
You haven't seen
Adam's
her
Tidus
collection of,
confirmed.
like weird shit. Oh, fuck off! Do not lump me in with
I-
that game. Don't
Final
lump me
Fantasy
in.
X is one of my
Adam,
favorite games of all time.
Adam, I just need you to go, ah, ha, 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 ha.
Okay, I will happily oblige and do that. So, 3, 2. Aha! There are no good double-digit Final Fantasy games. Anyone who says otherwise is lying to you. Do not trust that person. Do not trust their judgment. They will likely steal your car and crash it, and then said it was you for the sake of the insurance. Do not
Hey.
trust that person. Ha ha
Final Fantasy X is a single
Yeah, because
digit.
in Roman numerals
Edit
it's
that
one
out.
digit, bitch.
X, motherfucker.
Shenanigans.
Final Fancy X's a good
Absolute
game.
shenanigans.
Final Fantasy 11's a
It's
good game. I hate 12. Final Fantasy
never played it.
13 is
I've never played it.
What
bad
is that?
game.
He gets to 13. He goes.
It's bad.
yeah, I don't like 13. I'm not going to say it's bad. I don't like its design. It's not for me. I'm going to say that. Cuz
that
there-
works.
Who's it?
I don't like
Who
it.
is it meant for? by the way?
there is an
Nick?
audience of people who are into linear storyline games like that.
Yeah.
There is
I wouldn't even call that linear. I would
It's
just
linear.
call that.
it's the very definition.
That's like
of linear.
hand-holding.
Like it is like
Yeah. Like here's the thing. 10 is also linear. And 13 is also linear by definitions. They're both linear games. But the thing is, I like 10's hallway. I said hallway. I didn't mean to say
pretty
that.
much,
But
like,
I like it. Yeah,
call it
I like
corridor.
10's hallway. And yeah, I like 10's corridor. I like 10's characters in said corridor. I like the colors of that corridor a lot more than 13's
my issue
corridors.
with 13 is
Let's
definitely
go
with
with
the
that.
characters and the characterization. The storyline for me, okay, so I actually kind of like the gameplay of 13, and I'll come here and there and be like, well, you don't have to not engage with it. Like, you know, if you're just hitting the audio attack, you're not optimizing and all that. And there's some fun to be had with that. And I did sink a lot of hours into that combat because I did have legitimate fun into that. But I didn't connect with the characters. I didn't connect with the personality of Snow specifically, too. Also pissed me off. Like, it came across really
I got
weird.
really bored. Like, I don't know where I checked out. I think it was like right after you get the Shiva summon. That's where I checked out because I was just like, I'm
But
so
I also
bored.
see
And
like
I just stopped
I also
playing it.
see why people do connect with these characters, especially like there are a bunch of personalities that clash with my personality type that I don't relate to, and that's fine because there's a bunch of other fucking personality types that I don't fucking relate to out there who do relate to those people.
Yeah,
Lightning has a personality.
she's basically Cloud
She's
of
basically
movies.
the player XP, you know? Like, so she has more knowledge of the overall meta of what a Final Fantasy is, and Final Fantasy 13 is a kind of a deconstruction and a reconstruction of what Final Fantasy is from the ground up and shit in a way, from like the meta narrative standpoint. So you come in with that knowledge as Lightning, the soldier who's, you know, like got a little bit of knowledge to her, and so you come in with these expectations, and then you're learning from these other characters that these expectations aren't exactly right, and things aren't as they seem and stuff, and then you're revealed this world through new eyes because you're no longer a soldier, and you're no longer a veteran of like this franchise anymore, and I like that aspect of it, which is kind of cool, you know.
I'm just going to end this segment by making a quick statement. Dear Mistwalker, please release Lost Odyssey again.
Oh,
on
yes.
platforms. So we can stop having this argument about 13. Because if people play that, 13 will be a distant, bitter memory.
I don't know what
People
that
who'd
game is. What's Lost Odyssey?
Lost Odyssey
People
was...
would still like 13, and I feel like that's valid. There's a Final Fantasy for everybody. It's like I fucking vehemently hate 8, like with a passion, like. But there's people who like are like 8's the best one, and I'm like, all right, cool. You did it.
Yeah, my friend
9.
My friend Howell
9.
likes 8, and I like 9, but I know some people who can't stand 9 and constantly shit on 9. And please stop doing that.
I love 9.
Well, no, I'm not saying it to you. There are certain people that I know that like to constantly shit on Final Fantasy 9, and it's one of my favorite Final Fantasies. I don't say anything because, like, you know, I don't like the game that you like, but I don't shit on it all the time.
To be
Like,
fair, we
you
used
don't have to be. We used to, but like I don't do that anymore, and
we were pretty heinous about
reeled
it.
it back in. Yeah.
And I'm just here as the YouTube critic,
Yeah.
and I'm like, if I want to make
Like,
fun of a game,
okay.
I'm just going to make fun of the fucking game.
And that's fine. Here's the thing with Final Fantasy specifically, I feel like everyone has a favorite and everyone has a least favorite, and they're very vocal about it. Like my personal favorite is 4. I love Final Fantasy 4. And,
4's a banger.
and I'm super vocal about it because I think it's a very fun game. There are people who don't like 4, and that's fine.
4,
You don't
check
have
out
to
the
like
Pixel
it.
Remaster.
Is it 4 or 5? Is
Yeah,
it 4 or 5
I want
with
to get
Kefka?
the 6 is Kefka.
6 is a fucking banger too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Kefka is
Yeah,
such a good
6 is
villain.
another good example. 6 is like one of the most widely universally acclaimed Final Fantasies, and I just don't connect with it. Like, I think it's good, especially
never played
mechanically.
it.
I feel like
I have it.
thematically it works and all that shit. Like, I don't have a problem with it. I just, it's not on my favorites.
The main characters are a bit bland.
Although
really,
Decisive
aren't they?
Battle,
the villains
Decisive
are so
Battle
good.
is one of the most slapping fucking boss themes of all goddamn time. Like,
Dancing Mad is just a fucking amazing.
Dancing
final boss
Mad's
theme
great,
too.
but I heard like,
Oh
but like
my
as a kid,
God.
I heard this SSH. He was like this Japanese guitarist on YouTube and shit who did like a bunch of like video game covers. He did a cover of Decisive Battle, and it was one of the most mind blowing fucking like things I heard growing up. And so it's like stuck in my head as one of the most like, Final Fantasy songs I've ever.
Speaking of covers, Jeff Blade's guitar recently did a Dancing Mad in the style of Doom Eternal. It fucking slaps. It
I'll
fucking
have to listen to that.
slaps.
I will have to listen to that.
He's done a few now because he's done a few. I think the first one was a Halo one. It's okay. The second one he did was Bloodborne, Ludwig the Accursed in style of Doom Eternal. Also fucking slaps because it's a heavy metal waltz, which is
There's
amazing.
a game series.
Then it was Dancing Mad. He just did Castlevania Medley. It kind of works, but it just, I mean, the problem with Castlevania, you could always translate into heavy metal. It just gives, yeah. Dancing Mad and the Love with the Accursed one is easily the best too, like far.
Okay, you brought up Bloodborne.
Yeah, I do quite enjoy Bloodborne.
Before we move on to that, I just want to say another quick thing about Final Fantasy. Go
ahead.
I don't.
He wants to joke.
Like I said, I don't really connect with 13, but I see why people appreciate it. 14's a really good MMO. It's an MMO. A Realm Reborn.
Have you played the critically acclaimed?
A Realm Reborn.
Sucks.
Yeah, I don't really care for the storyline in it. I heard it got revamped.
It's bad.
I like the quest line with the Scion stuff building up to the Heavensward and stuff after Realm Reborn. But yeah.
Apparently they cut out a lot of the main scenario quests that weren't needed. I'm just like, you cut things out?
Oh my god. They're doing a lot of useless shit for a bunch of people you didn't know.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, especially when you get into the later content and shit. I love 15. I know that it's a broken mess. It barely fucking got finished. It was like what? They couldn't even get the Leviathan boss battle working like fucking a week before the game actually was out, and they had to fucking release the patch in order for it to fucking work properly when it was out and shit. Like, it was a fucking mess. Dabada no longer works at fucking Square Enix. They canceled DLC for it, like, there's a bunch of shit wrong with it. It's probably my favorite fucking Final Fantasy game, and maybe my favorite open world game of fucking all time. I love really just fucking playing as Noctis. I love the vibe of the fucking characters. I love just fucking going around and saying, fuck it, just travel in the area. I even love the main quest. Like, I view it like a sort of condensed Epic of Gilgamesh kind of like fucking story, where it's less of like a expository, you need to know all this shit, and it's more just a character focused, beginning, middle, end kind of story.
The thing with 15, and my wife, she thought she wasn't going to like 15. She's just like, I don't know if I'm going to like these characters. I don't think I'm going to enjoy any of these characters, any of that. And I got her to play it. And just for reference about how much she enjoys the game, our fucking song that we danced to at our wedding was the ending song of Final Fantasy 15, the Stand By Me cover by Florence and the Machine.
Nerds.
And that's how much she loved Final Fantasy 15. She fell in love with it. I was crying. I was crying when we were dancing.
I was going to say, there are two kinds of people. I jokingly yell nerds, and fucking Xander over here is like crying.
Fucking,
on the podcast.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 15 hit me so fucking hard.
Yeah, it hit me too. I cried, and so did Ali.
Like, I have been unable to actually like finish it again since. I have a save file from the Royal Edition where I'm right at the end. I'm like, I can't do this again.
Yeah, it got me, dude. It really did. Like, I watched Ali finish it, and she just started sobbing. Like, I had to hold her for like a good like 5-10 minutes while she was crying over it. I'm just like, that's fine. Like I get it.
I just hope 16 is good.
And
I'll say that.
Yeah, and that's why that song, the Stand By Me cover by them is our song. Because I got her to give it a shot, and it was a very vulnerable moment for her, and it just kind of sticks out in her mind, and we both agreed that's what we want.
It's one of the rare examples of a game where it's like when I listen back to the soundtrack, I can hear like verbatim the scenes the soundtrack was playing in without fail. It's like the original Kingdom Hearts and shit in its soundtrack. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, I love the 15
I waited
soundtrack.
like 10 years for this game, so there's probably a huge fucking bias and willing to forgive a lot of shit in that, so please keep that in mind. But I was very vocal about how critical I was about how long it took to come out, and I was also very low with my expectations and expected it to fail, so I don't know how much bias is there. But yeah, I fucking love that game, and eventually what it was patched to fully become and how it doesn't break anymore, that's pretty nice too. But
apparently the PC version is pretty good.
They also they finally got rid of the de novo on that too, so now that would be a good time to buy it.
That's good. Yeah, but so back on before we jump to 15, you did bring up Bloodborne, so I do want to talk about Bloodborne real quick.
Because I quite like me some Bloodborne.
Okay, you and Xander both like Bloodborne.
Yeah.
I do not like Soulsborne games. And it's not, and I don't want to hear the whole get good, blah, blah, blah sort of thing. It's like, oh, you learn, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not that. I just have a real big issue with repetitive bullshit and things being difficult for the sake of being difficult. Like, I get that people view it as it's you're supposed to feel good about getting better at it and getting over it and getting stronger, like as a player. But me personally, it's just like I got so fucking frustrated with the cryptic bullshit, and just the game not really explaining a lot, and it just being just confusing as fuck, that I got to I don't even remember where I got to. I got past like Old Yarnum, and I beat the Bloodstarved Beast, and I think I got to the witches. I think like the one
past that the really easy boss fight where it's like just the witch walking around.
No, the one that splits into like multiple ones.
Yeah, that's the really easy one. Okay,
well, I don't remember where that is, but wait, was that before or after Bloodstarved Beast?
Way after.
Okay, so that's where I got to. I beat that, and then I kind of just got lost and I got stuck, and I just I don't like this. Like, I'm not having fun. I legit just stopped having fun with the game.
I would not call that difficult for the sake of being difficult. For the record, the reason the game's so cryptic is that it just doesn't really hold the hand at all, and it's not trying to be difficult for the sake of difficult. It's honestly, the funny thing is those games are the most difficult at the first quarter of the game, then it gets significantly easier after that.
No, it did not.
It's trying to teach you something. Like the most difficult boss fight in that game, honestly, is Gascoigne, because if you haven't properly been parrying before then and got the time for parrying down, Father Gascoigne is going to turn you into a skin puppet. It's saying, hey, you need to, this parry mechanic we've been telling you about the whole way through, this parry mechanic you've seen when you saw the other hunter on the roof, the guy who was parrying all of your stuff, the game is trying to non-verbally kind of communicate, hey, this is an important mechanic, you need to learn this.
No, I understand that. I understand the game's trying to teach you things, but like I'm saying is, I got tired of the game just being cryptic and confusing and just it felt like I was bashing my head against a wall for like 20 minutes, or not 20 minutes, probably for a couple of hours, and I just got frustrated and I got tired of it.
I feel like that connects.
I wasn't having. Go ahead.
No, finish your thought. I don't want to cut you off.
Okay. No, it's just like I just wasn't having fun. Like, I legitimately just was not having a good time. And I tried Dark Souls. I tried Demon Souls. I tried Dark Souls 2. I don't like any of them. And that's why I didn't even give Dark Souls 3 a passing glance. Like, I do not like those kind of games. And I kind of wish FromSoft would just go back to making, Armored Core games. Like, I enjoyed Armored Core. Those are fun.
I kind of wish they don't, actually, because I must admit a lot of those Armored Core games were not very good.
Don't
get me wrong, some were cheesy, but a lot of them were pretty bad.
I can build a mech and I can beat the shit out of other mechs and fly around. It's a good game for me. That's why
I feel like that connects back to the point I was trying to make during the Final Fantasy 13 point. Is there are some games out there that connect with people, and there's just some game design philosophies that, good or bad, just aren't for everybody, and not every game's out there for everybody, and it's completely fine to just not
I respect. Go ahead.
I said I find it interesting Bloodborne didn't smack with you just because Bloodborne is... most people I know who are really into Bloodborne are also really into fighting games, and you're very much into BlazBlue, Guilty, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting to me that one didn't really land with you because it's easily the most fighting game one. It's the same kind of deal of reaction, punish, reaction block, punish, reaction block.
I can see that, but I feel like maybe Sekiro would be more like a fighting game since that's more upfront about combat.
Sekiro is probably the most... Well, okay, so I guess Sekiro is probably now the most fighting gamey one of the bunch. But Bloodborne was very much so, particularly in how it handled the string system. As soon as you get the mallet, oh my god, the mallet is just ridiculous.
I like Bloodborne's more for its... less for its gameplay and more for everything else about it. Sekiro is the most fun to play from a mechanical standpoint.
If I get Sekiro, I mean, I'll give it a shot and see if I enjoy it. But I just don't.
I highly recommend if you do try it out, wait until you can get it for free, just so you don't feel any sort of I wasted money on this, because it still might not be for you.
I wouldn't. Yeah. I wouldn't get it. Actually, I wouldn't get it through PlayStation Plus because look who published Sekiro, and you're going to be like,
oh shit, yeah, Activision published it. Cool.
Yeah. Oh, Activision published it. Yeah. No, get it pre-owned. Get it pre-owned.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, don't cross that picket line, anybody.
Nope, not doing that. But yeah, it's
The good news is, by the way, if you're interested in Elden Ring, Bandai Namco are publishing it the same way they did with Dark Souls and Bloodborne, which is good because Elden Ring, it looks like a giant berserk jerk off, and I'm all here for that.
But what I was gonna say was, I respect what Bloodborne and Dark Souls, those games have done. I respect the genre, and I understand why people like it. But for me, it just felt like I was constantly bashing my head into a fucking wall without any sign of progress, no matter how much I tried to approach it from a different angle, no matter how much I thought things through. I constantly felt like I was just frustrating myself for no good reason. Like there's a great, huh?
I was like, what's interesting is how far you got, because you got past, like, the regular litmus test would be straight up Gascoigne. You also would have gotten past Vicar Amelia, so like you would have gotten pretty deep into that thing. Like,
like I said, I got to a part where these weird fly things started showing up, and I think like this thing grabbed me, like it grabbed me out of nowhere. I didn't even see it, like it was invisible, and it grabbed me, and like it held me up and smashed me to the ground and killed me. I'm just like, you know what? That pisses me off more than anything. The cheap death bullshit, that pissed me off. And I think
when you think, go through the other world and you get the weird, like, invisible shit coming up.
Yeah. And I was just like, that's bullshit. I'm done. Like, that's where I was like, I am mad now. I don't want to fucking play this anymore. Because like it was such a cheap death. And I just got mad, and just like that, I think that was my give up point. Like, could I eventually go back and give it another shot? I don't know. Maybe I could, but like, I've proven to myself time and time again, if I have it in my head that I don't like something, I'm not going to enjoy it if I go back to it. Like, there was another game I tried that I knew I didn't like, and I said, well, maybe I'll have a different opinion on it later, and played it again, and I didn't like it. And I think it was Dissidia, Final Fantasy Dissidia NT. Yeah, that's a bad game.
I was grinding in PSO last night for whatever reason. I remembered, like, when I tweeted, so I tried Yakuza 0 and Dissidia NT at the same time, and I tweeted about Dissidia NT how I hated the combat system, but somebody misunderstood that I was talking about Yakuza, and I had to clarify, no, Yakuza 0's combat's great. No, I'm talking about this other fucking game. Go on. That was my only point.
To be fair as well, Devin, you also haven't, shall we say, in the politest possible sense, you might not have the temperament for a Soulsborne game. You are the one who gets the angriest at video games.
I think I'm the one that gets the angriest at it.
I've never seen you spike a controller. When we're doing heists in GTA, Devin did it spike a controller.
I have full on mental breakdowns with video games where
whereas I'm like the most
where I have to like cover my face with my hands and scream into them because I would be otherwise so loud that I would wake up the entire neighborhood with how much anger and anguish I am experiencing because of whatever stupid mechanic I can't get past.
Yeah. For me, it takes a lot to get me angry at a game. Like, I think one of the most infamous ones my wife will tell you about is like me actually legitimately angry was like Mighty Number 9. Like, it takes a lot to get me pissed off at a video game.
It doesn't take a lot to get me pissed off at a video game, but the thing is I will admit I'm a bad loser. I don't like losing, and when I play a video game, I play it to have a good time. I play it to have an enjoyable time. I don't play it to frustrate myself and lose a bunch and, waste my fucking time like that in a bad way. And that's why I don't like playing games online with people, because like, if I lose, I'm going to get pissed off. And that's not a great attitude to have. I understand that, and it's something I've tried to work on, but like, I just don't like it. I don't like losing. Like, if I'm playing with people IRL, that's fine. But when I'm playing online, my brain just like, it just switches to this like, fuck you for playing against me, fuck you for beating me, I can't believe I lost. And I get like this super high like anxiety out of nowhere. Like, my heart beats like super fucking hard, and I just get fucking frustrated. And it's in fucking Yu-Gi-Oh too, dude. Like, online with Duel Links, I'm the same fucking way. So I don't know why I'm like that. It's weird, and I'm trying to work on it, but it's just how I've been like for the longest time.
It'd be interesting hooking you up to like a heart rate machine to see what your heart rate goes to when you're playing like Street Fighter Online or something.
Sounds like a comment.
Cause I was watching a video. It was like I was watching Thingy a while ago, and they were hooking up players who were playing, I forget what, I think it was like Guilty Gear players, and they were hooking them up, and like what they thought was interesting was the higher end players, the heart rate's raised, but like by like 1 or 2 BPM, like it was very slight raise. Whereas like players who maybe have been like it was their first tournament, or like they've come against a major, like the heart rate was like 120 BPM, it was like right up there.
Yeah.
Which is super interesting.
It's
What were
like
you
a
gonna say,
combination of like anxiety disorder with the adrenal response of fight or flight instinct, because you're coming into conflict with what your body is recognizing as a flight or flight response, and if you can't flee from it, then you have to win from the fight. But if you're not winning, then your brain's misinterpreting the signals. Then compound that with mental health and all that other stuff, and it's a thing. Everybody goes through the adrenal response part of it. At the start at least, and there are certain things you can definitely work on about it, but there are also just a lot of things about it that are natural. So I feel like accepting that some of it is a biological response might help the psychological ability to keep it in check. I don't know. That's how I try to logic things out to myself.
Yeah. Like today, like me and Ale went to a arcade and we played a couple of games. But the games we played mostly fighting games, and we played Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and she beat me. No, I won 2-3. It was best 2 out of 3, and I won the best 2 out of 3. But when she did beat me, like, I didn't get frustrated like I normally do. Like, I was actually proud of myself for not getting frustrated on that loss. And then we played another fighting game. I think it was like that Grand Blue Fantasy fighting game, which I didn't really much care for because I couldn't air dash in that game. And if I can't air dash when I'm fighting, I don't know. Something about an anime.
He needs that anime fighting stance.
Yeah, I need that anime fighting game. It's like, here's the thing. It's made by Arc System Works. So when I play an Arc System Works fighting game, I kind of like assumed there's going to be air dashing in it, and there was none, and I was just a little confused. So it was weird, but I lost, but I didn't get mad. But what I got mad at when we were playing was like fucking like this Tetris game. We were playing a 2-player Tetris game, and she beat me, but like I was really frustrated with the controls because I'm just like, I'm used to most Tetris games letting me like store shit away and do things like that, but it's just like, or when you press up on the control pad, it'll bring your Tetronimo straight down and it locks it in place. But when I did that with this game, it brought it straight down, and I had to wait a second for it to lock it in place. So I would hit it straight down, and I'd get ready for the next piece to come in, and then I'd accidentally move that piece. It frustrated the shit out of me.
Tetris just frustrates me in general.
Well, no, I mean, it's weird. I love Tetris, though. It's just like that Tetris I hated.
Tetris is terrible.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's just how I am with competitive games. But when it comes to co-op games, I have a great time. Like today, we went to, like, at the arcade, they had this rhythm game you can play co-op in, and it was made by Sega. And I was looking through the songs on it, and they had some anime songs, but none that I really cared for. But they had Sega songs, and I was looking for like something from Yakuza, but they had Sonic stuff, and you could do co-op. So me and Ali did co-op of Live and Learn, Rooftop Run, and we also did Fist Bump from Sonic Forces. But the entire time I was doing that thing that Xander does when he makes fun of Fist Bump. And it's just like, I am next to you, or he's like, you're next to me and I'm next to you. You are next to me and I'm next to you. You are next to me and I am next to you. And I just like, I did that while we were playing it, and it actually helped me like do the rhythm fine. I'm like, I got like a 95% full combo. It's like, I hate that this
make a lot
helped.
more sense
I hate
now.
this fucking
I was
help.
like, what is he showing me?
Yeah,
It's
I did Live and Learn, did Live and Learn, Rooftop Run, and the Fist Bump, and then there's another rhythm game over there that had Gurren Lagann's Solario Days, the opening of Gurren Lagann, and I had like a perfect 175 combo on that one. It's just like, I am a guy. Because like, I fucking love rhythm games. Like, I just gonna be honest, that's my shit. Like, if I could stream a rhythm game without getting fucking copyright claimed to oblivion, I would. But I fear that.
We live in a capitalist society where that is not possible, my friend.
See, for me in competitive games though, like I guess my younger brother used to play a lot. Not my youngest brother, my middle brother was like a whole other level of sore loser. So I just kind of saw it from early age and went, all right. And I am infamously vibe. Like, you guys have watched me play online games, or you guys have watched me play, like, FIFA. Normie alert, Adam plays FIFA. And, like, I just fucking vibe. I'm like, just doing my goddamn thing. Like, it's very hard for me to get frustrated at a game. I get annoyed at bad game design. That's a very different thing, but, like, it's, like me actually like getting angry to the point where I'm yelling at something, like it's happened. Don't get me wrong, it's happened, but like the level it takes, like Sonic 06 did not break me. It came close, and I got really annoyed at it, but I somehow I kept very calm throughout the whole thing, and just went, it's a bad game. It's poorly made. It was made in 6 weeks by some poor underpaid bastard stuck in a Tokyo office, sleeping under his desk. But Mighty Number 9 was the one that just fucking broke me, because that was just such a fucking slog. And the worst was I played it on Wii U, so I kind of self-inflicted a lot of the bad, but it was just I still to this day cannot believe that game exists in the state it's in, and it got that much money out of people.
Sonic 06 is simultaneously one of the worst mechanically and like every otherly designed and formulated games of all time, and I acknowledge that, but also one of the most entertaining games of all time.
I'm floored it even functions. Like, it's an actual miracle the game
when I
even
got
boots.
to the scene where Shadow just kicked fucking Silver in the back of the head, I just strapped the fucking seatbelt. I just strapped my fucking seatbelt, and I'm like, all right, floored it, fucking full speed ahead. I did all 3 fucking story missions that day. I'm like, all right, I'm in. And Devin came over as I beat it for like the first time.
I did. That was there. Can I just say, I genuinely thought so. I didn't know what Sonic 06 was until Game Grumps, the infamous Game Grumps playthrough. Sometimes you gotta draw a line in the sand and ask yourself, what am I put up with today? Not fucking this, So like, I genuinely thought that they were just overdoing it for the content. It's like, it can't be that broken. He's got to be fucking it up on purpose, right? So I played it. No, man, he was not. They were not fucking up on purpose. That was like legit just the worst fucking thing. Xander had me play the PS3 version, which apparently is worse than what the Grumps were playing. And
the PS3 version is easily the worst of the 2 versions.
Yeah, and I just sat there, I'm like, who let this happen? Who allowed this to come into existence? Like, I played this game. Smegma. No, but like, I don't know. I can't understand how a game could have been so bad. It's just like it just blew my mind. Like, and I think I got a game over on like the second stage, right?
Stage where you just immediately slam yourself right into a wall if you don't start taking control. Yeah.
Yeah, I died like almost immediately, and then I got like a game over
because you glitched out on the whale, the weird whale part,
a
couple of times first. So you already lost a couple lives, then you immediately died on the speed section and had to restart the whole thing.
And I tried to jump over something, and Sonic clipped the bridge. I got stuck on the bridge and died. I was like,
see, when I took 3 years to play the game, I wasn't doing it because I wanted content. I was doing it because that game is mental torture. Like, it is such a slog, because each campaign is 8 hours long. Like, I don't think people quite understand that the Sonic campaign, the Shadow campaign, and the Silver campaign are all, well, give or take, about 8 hours long each.
Well, Adam, here's the thing. I own a 360 copy of Sonic 06.
And, I do too.
And I'm not quite done yet. And as you guys know, I've been streaming Sonic the Hedgehog games over my Twitch page at twitch.tv/DevinVoivio.
Yes, he has.
So, here's the thing. Once I get to 100 followers or 100 subscribers,
100 subby bubbies,
100 subby bubbies, I am going to play Sonic 06 on stream.
God.
Now, I already have Heroes lined up to play next. Heroes is going to be my next Sonic game. That's happening. I'm going to be doing Shadow as well.
I think... keep going, sorry.
Go on.
I think Heroes is mechanically better than 06, but enjoyment-wise, so much worse than 06. I hate Heroes so much. Heroes is the game that breaks me.
Alexander, like all great things in life, what goes up must
But
come
yet
down.
my feet don't touch the ground, Devin. Feel the world standing upside down like a laser beam on you.
Sonic Heroes.
Sonic
Heroes.
Laying the stage for a hero's parade. This has been Insert Title Here podcast.
Make sure to do the thingies that everybody tells you to do. You know what things I'm talking about. I'm not going to tell you what you should do because you already know by now, and you're already annoyed that I'm saying do the thingies. So if I tell you exactly what you need to do, you're going to get so annoyed, you're going to get indignant and be like, no, Mr. Alexander Satahara, they, them, or whatever the fuck you are, man, person, guy, child, adult, man, person. I will not do the things you ask me to do, so I will instead ask you to do the thing that you know helps us. Do both the things, and I will grant you the gift of more content for free. I will never ask you to pay for this podcast, for this podcast is stupid. Subscribe to Devin VO on Twitch for the thing he just said. Make sure to follow and do the sub if you can give him money. If you can't give any of us money for the things like Twitch and stuff, do not fret. We do not expect nor desire you to take it out of your pocketbook and sacrifice your meals or your families to give us any money. For we do this for the passion, but also for the Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship that pays us $6,000 each. That will eventually happen. Get in contact with us later
Also,
on.
Manscaped.
He's speaking for himself on that one.
Manscaped, hit me up, baby. I'll shave my balls and show it on stream.
Raycons, you can do that for Technical Cake Mix. If you try to fucking sponsor this, you're the fucking garbage goddamn earphone product, and I fucking hate you, and I want every single one of them.
This has been edited out to protect the person who was saying stupid things from saying more stupid things on record.
Subscribe to Technical Cake Mix on YouTube, because you have to do that too. Listen to Satahara on all the thingies in the thingy below. That's my music. And if you want the full version of the fucking podcast intro thing, get us to 100 subscribers on YouTube. Oh shit, I forgot to upload the last episode to SoundCloud.